guys, this is my Hoya Krohniana silver. It used to be called Eskimo. I don't really understand why, but it has like a silver variegated leaves, and it's very, very beautiful. So I hope you enjoy my plant vlog, which I am just starting. You're gonna hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. All my social media accounts are in the description section, including what I am using here. My chunky mix, or substrate, or pebble mix, or whatever you want to call it, a soil mix, whatever. These are all just pebbles or rocks. I have recently switched my Hoyas, some, not all of them, into a gritty mix or a pebble mix or a stone mix or a pond mix, but I made it myself. So I didn't purchase like a lechuza pond. So anyway, this is her, and a Krohniana comes in the regular green, and I think it also comes in the black. So you can get them in 3 different varieties that I've seen for sale. I don't know, there probably could be other different kinds. I'm just very new to it. The first time that I actually saw this, I was looking for a Krohniana, and I wasn't really looking for the silver one, but it was a seller, which fell through, that she was kind of persuasive on the silver one, because I was really eyeing the all green one. And the more I looked at the picture, the more I'm like, it's actually very pretty. So I picked this one. I didn't want to get the other 2 Krohnianas until I'm like an expert on this one, and I hope it will be pretty soon, because I'm just looking for Hoyas that have really pleasant fragrance, and they're strong as well. So this was on my list from just asking people who's ever smelled, you know, certain Hoya flowers, because I've never smelled a Hoya flower. So I wanted people's opinions. So she's in a self-watering pot. This is the first time I've ever used this particular brand. It is a learning curve, like everything new in your life. My first ever self-watering system was a lechuza, which at the time they were like the best, and they were the only ones. The problem with the lechuza is that not only for the problem with the lechuza is that they don't have this kind of system where you can take it off. They have it for what I'm using for my orchid, but they're really huge. They don't have pots like this small or a little bit bigger in this kind of system. The lechuza pot, I have a ton of lechuza pots, but you can't really take them out. And the problem with that is that if you tend to overwater, it's very, very hard to get the excess water out. And you don't want to put too much water in the pot or in the reservoir, because then you're basically overwatering your plant, and you're going to get root rot anyway. So this one sits in a west-facing window. I've only had this plant very, very short amount of time. She was just transplanted to this, and I have to say that I'm very, very happy with this so far. She was growing in I think like a humidity tent is what I was told, or a cabinet or something. That's why she has, if you could see right there, she has like roots like aerial roots growing out. So if I do feel comfortable in clipping her to try to propagate and make her fuller in the pot, it won't be so bad. But the problem is also sometimes aerial roots, especially what I've noticed with if they're very, very thin or frail, they can tend to dry up too if you have very low humidity. The humidity in my entire house is, I think we're at 45, is what my husband put it in. We have like a built-in humidity system. However, if your air isn't kicking in, the vents, the humidity isn't also kicking in. It does say in our thermostat that I think even yesterday, it even said like we were in 60% humidity. It was chilly yesterday, but that's what it said on our thermostat. So, I mean, it would know. What I have noticed with self-watering pots, if you do use like a soil, potting, cactus, or anything that it can be dense, it can actually saturate your medium or your soil. I wouldn't recommend that. Like even coco coir can do that. I experimented with coco coir and self-watering system from Aquaphoric, I think that's what it was. And I put begonia in there, and it keeps growing, but it just feels kind of very saturated for my taste, but that was what the manual said to do. So I actually took that out, and I just kind of switched it and not used that self-watering pot for that plant. But anyway, I feel it's best to use self-watering pots with something gritty like orchid bark or a pebble substrate, like what I use, which is my homemade gritty mix or homemade pond. I've never used Leca, and I cannot recommend to use that because I have never used it before. There's been a lot of people that love Leca, and there has been a lot of people that love them in the beginning, and at some point something happens that they start to hate it. But there have been people that also have loved them for a really long time. I think you just really have to know how to use the system correctly, and plants do change, they do grow every day, so I think that's probably the problem. For me, orchid bark in a self-watering system is really great. The problem with orchid bark is it will start to decay and deteriorate, but it's not very quick. I've had my orchids in, I would say, like over 2 years in the same orchid bark, and they're fine. I think I've added more. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've never really like switched. I've just kept them in that, and I mean, they're always growing more buds and more flowers. So that's what I'm trying to do with my Hoyas, because Hoyas and orchids are similar. They're epiphytic. Basically what that means is they're a type of plant that in nature, they climb on trees. So they don't really want to get soppy or have their roots wet, but they do come from very humid climate areas, like close to the equator, like Singapore and the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, all those places, Southeast Asia. And because they come from very humid areas, very sunny areas, they tend to grow that way. I believe because they're epiphytic, they can, depending on the specific species, they can thrive in high amounts of sun, but some also cannot. They can burn, and that is due to them, you know, growing on trees, and the trees with the leaves and the branches actually cover them somewhat, so they don't really have that like blasting sun, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense? I hope it makes sense. So this one, I'm very excited. I'm trying to think. I do have over like 200 plants. I don't think I have a variegated silver leaf. I have pink, white, cream, peach, orange, purple, lilac, lavender colors, yellow. I don't remember if I have this. I don't remember if I have a silver, because I don't think I ever wanted or was looking for it, but it looks really, really pretty. So here she is, and I will update as much as I can if I do believe there has been some development and changes and things like that, positive or negative, as usual with my plant vlogs. I hope you guys enjoyed my looking at my beautiful little baby. You can hit that like if you haven't yet, and of course the subscribe if you haven't yet, and of course the bell again if you haven't yet, so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. If you have any care tips, if you have this particular plant, and if you can share direction of light that you give it, let me know down in the comment section below. If you just want to talk about this particular plant, let me know down in the comment section below. If you're curious about where I got this plant, the unboxing video should be at the end of the video, or during right now, or at the top of the video, like right here. It should have been there probably in the beginning of the video or something. I would put a card up there just so you guys have access to the unboxing to see what she looked like prior to me putting it in the Substrate pebble mix or gritty mix or stone mix. Everyone has different names to them. That's why I'm trying to mention them all. Commonly, it's commonly called like a pond substrate, because I think like Lechuza, the brand, the company, Lechuza Pond kind of started it. But also there have been more popular, but also there have been other companies that do it, like the Bonsai Jack. I think I could be mistaken. It's called like a gritty soil mix or a bonsai soil mix or something like that, which is really just pebbles. So if you're interested in what I'm using, let me just check the description section, as I always put everything in there, including all my social media accounts. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.